Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to The Road to Glory with KYLER Adams, and of course Summit Wrestling. Getting into episode 9 here. It's been a couple of days since I recorded a video here, but we left things off in episode 8 with a very healthy bank balance. 10,000 profit in, 12,000, over 12,000 in the actual bank itself. Then of course our popularity, a 19 E-, which I think is very respectable. Of course, we're only 10 importance away from regional. However, I don't want to get, too ahead of myself. The economy, 40 D- and still falling. And then, of course, the wrestling industry there, now at a C and falling. So the popularity gains might start to slow down. And I've been thinking over the last couple of days. I mean, I can't really stop thinking about this series. Basically, the only series I'm running on the channel at the moment. And it's doing really well. So thank you guys for the support. If you could smash a like on this one as well, it'd be much appreciated. But we might need to cut the amount of shows per month down. Just because, I mean, it's good now. Don't get me wrong, it's good now. 10,000 in consecutive months. But if that starts to drop to about 5,000, and then even lower than 5,000, possibly depending on how far the economy goes, we might run into some serious problems. I would love to just, sign some better talent. Who's T-Bone Bright? He's okay. Got really good brawling. Never actually used this guy, or never even stood out to me. But there we go. Find someone new every time you play. But yes, I've completely lost my train of thought. Anyway, let's advance. I'm going to run 9 shows for September. But like I said, we need to just be a little bit careful and wary. Of course, if we go to the champions, KYLER Adams was our new champion, new North American champion. Of course, winning the title off Felipe Caballero after winning the peak of the Summit tournament a few episodes ago. Let's see what this month has in store for... Oh, nice. Marcel improving his behavior. What the month has in store for our guy, KYLER Adams. Alright, seeing as we are making about 10,000 a month, I feel like we can start to maybe use maybe at least put on one more match per show. I mean, it's not exactly needed, but we'll use fairly new signing, of course, Ralph Liotta. And I do actually want him to take on KYLER in a non-title match. I think we did this match. Yeah, we did it right at the end. But I would like to do it again. Might even give it 12 minutes. We just wanted to try and improve this guy because he's got really good stamina. His other stats are pretty good as well. Just needs a little bit of psychology, and then he's sort of, I would say, in the same boat as KYLER. Obviously, KYLER's going to win. It's a little bit of a no-brainer. But what I also want to do... I mean, that's just really weird and frustrating. What is his popularity? I don't really see why he's complaining. I think KYLER's up to a 19, breaking out of the F+. Interesting. I'm just gonna piss him off, I guess. Morale issues are starting to be a bit of a thing. But the other match we'll do... Yeah, we'll do Felipe and Logan. They can have a match together. But the main event will be KYLER teaming up with Ralph Liotta. I want to see if there's any chemistry between the two. We'll make that the main event, 15 minutes. I might actually change the other match. And let's have Felipe get the victory on KYLER. Bit of a trade-off. I think we'll give Felipe a rematch at some stage. See if he can win his title back. Let's actually make it a tainted victory. There we go. And I'll just reduce this one by 2. So then we'll have Logan and Felipe. I'll try and give Logan the victory. Okay, that works. Nice. And then let's do one more match. Let's do... who do we want to do? Let's do Samael, the accuser. And he can take on... yeah, Justice Yolson. Alright, that seems like a pretty good match. Obviously, Samael's going to be the victor. He's just so talented. As you can see. The menace is crazy. Good star quality. I mean, good everything. Psychology lacking a little bit. But if he works with KYLER for a bit of time, I don't see that being an issue in the future. I mean, Justice is unhappy, which is very strange. Alright, let's do our angles now as well. Can Ralph speak? Not really. And again, just doing success because there is still the storyline going with Seth, Felipe, KYLER, and I think it was Avalanche. And Samael. So we got five people in there. It's sort of the main title feud. But it also kind of relates to Seth and KYLER. Anyway, let's do a Menace promo here as well. Samael. And who's he with? Justice. So double Menace promo. Let's have another Tyler Adams promo on Ralph Liotta. And we'll make this a work the crowd. Because we don't actually have enough time to do another promo. Alright, first show of the episode, starting off with a 40 D-, 400 people in the Mid-South. But a pretty good rating there. We got Logan Wolfsbane defeating Felipe Caballero in 9:48 by submission with a Boston Crab. No improvements. We then go into a 37 D- angle from KYLER Adams cutting a promo on Ralph. Their match gets a 32 E+, respectable. We got KYLER Adams defeating Ralph Liotta in 9:48 by pinfall with a K trigger. And we also have Ralph Liotta improving in performance skills. We then go into a 45 D angle, menace angle from both Samael and Justice Yolson. Their match does a little bit worse because we are keeping Justice strong, so it gets a 28 E. We've got Samael defeating Justice Yolson in 10 minutes 3 seconds by submission. No improvements. The tag angle getting a 38 D- there. Not too bad. Again, advancing the storyline. And the main event getting a 40 D-, which is pretty good as well. But we have Logan Wolfsbane and Felipe Caballero defeating KYLER Adams and Ralph Liotta in 15:17 when Felipe defeated KYLER by pinfall with a handful of tights. There we go. Cheating to win, Felipe Caballero. Probably, I think we overused Ralph. Yeah, as you can see, he was used too much. Overall show rating getting a 28E, which is, it's good enough. Again, still increasing the popularity, which is exactly what we need. Alright, so as you can see, Golden Canvas offering a contract to Nigel Svensson. Interesting, he's a really good worker. I would have liked to have brought him in at some stage. I mean, we still probably can. I'm assuming it's only a paper appearance. I don't think they're cult. Oh, it is written they are actually cult. Okay, that's interesting. The Golden Canvas are now cult in Japan. I wonder if BCG are still around. I assume they are. Yes, they are. Interesting. Okay. Definitely a company that I would like to maybe switch to and try and keep them afloat after the tsunami decimates Japan. If we go to the world here, as you can see, the tsunami's hit, but things are starting to recover. Very slowly, of course. But that would be a decent little, you know, challenge in this massive challenge itself. Just having a look at these morale issues here. A couple of people have pretty bad morale issues there. A little bit worrying. But at the same time, I mean, it is what it is. Can't make everyone happy or keep everyone happy all the time. I mean, I gave Takano a strong warning and he was unhappy about it. And we're up to 20 E minus there for our popularity. That's good. All right, let's book our some more matches. We'll go with KYLER Adams taking on. It's a good question. Who's he going to take on? I think Logan. I know we've done this one quite a bit. Have we? Yeah, I mean, only 2 times. That's interesting. Okay. We'll have KYLER get the victory. Non-title match. The other match will have Seth Whitehead taking on Kid Fantastic. Seth to get the victory, I think. I want to keep Seth pretty strong. Although I really don't want him to get poached. So for the tag match, we'll do Logan and KYLER. And then we'll do Seth. Actually, let's change that around. Logan and Seth taking on KYLER and Kid Fantastic. I think that's a bit of a better match. And this one, KYLER can get a bit of revenge against Seth. Of course, from Felipe in the last show. I think we might just run those matches for this one. Pretty happy with that. So Logan and Seth, and then KYLER and Kid Fantastic. There we go. I think Logan's only mid-card. He's up in mid-card, okay. That's fine. Let's do another angle between KYLER and Logan as well. Put that at the start of the show, and then I think we'll just do a Seth Whitehead entertainment angle by himself. There we go. All right, let's run this show. Starting off with a 40 D minus angle between KYLER and Logan. Their match also getting a 40 D minus. KYLER Adams defeating Logan Wolfsbane in 9:58 by pinfall with a K trigger. We then go into a 43D for Seth Whitehead's promo. His match with Kid Fantastic getting a 37D minus. Pretty impressive, actually. Seth Whitehead does defeat Kid Fantastic in 9:43 by submission with a Minnesota stretch. No improvements. We then go to the tag angle, getting a 39D minus. So every rating has been a D minus or above at the moment, which is impressive. We've also got Kid Fantastic improving in acting as a result of that angle. The main event, a little bit lower, 36 D minus, but not too bad. We've got KYLER Adams and Kid Fantastic defeating Seth Whitehead and Logan Wolfsbane in 15:07, and KYLER Adams defeated Seth Whitehead by pinfall with a K trigger. We also have Logan Wolfsbane improving in flying skills. Yeah, a bit of a low in-ring performance there by KYLER. Only a 28. Not too impressive. Anyway, we also overused Kid Fantastic in that one. But the show rating gets a 27E, so 1 point lower than that first one. I mean, things are still going pretty well. Up to the 27th highest company in the rankings. I might just do an auto push here. I want to have a quick look at everybody. Haven't used Austin or Avalanche yet, so they'll both be used on the next show. And again, we want to make sure everyone's a mid-carder or above. Just so we're able to... Ooh, lower mid-card for Felipe. That's a bit of a worry. It's weird that that happens, considering his popularity is 17, which is pretty much what it's capping itself at for us at the moment. I mean, TEW is an opener, apparently. Definitely not. Alright, so KYLER's gone up to a main eventer as a result of that push. Logan's main event. Alright, Samael's a main eventer. And Seth has dropped down to a mid-carder. Gonna bump him up to an upper mid-carder there as well. Alright, that's pretty good. Let's advance. We also have to name our next event. Ooh. Avalanche Decano walked out on IPW. Interesting. So now we're the only company he works for. Interesting. One other thing I want to do before we do anything else. I want to look for a manager that might be able to help KYLER. That's obviously not going to be too expensive either. I mean, Carl Batch. He might be a decent option. Only 700 per show. Dharma Craig's a little bit lower. And she's actually a lot better. Wow. Interesting. Definitely going to shortlist her. She looks like she could actually fit with KYLER's whole setup. His sort of, his look that he has about him. A little bit too expensive there. Eric Tyler, way too expensive. Same with Farrah Hesketh there. Haley Buck at 500 as well. Very, very similar. Get her shortlisted there as well. Okay, Jenny Playmate. I mean, she's also really, really good. She actually has, I think she has better star quality. She could actually be a color commentator as well. Interesting. What about Dharma? Can she do any color commentary? Not really. And finally, Karen Killer. I'm pretty familiar with her. Now, she'd actually be a much better color commentator. However, her star quality is a little bit lower. Interesting. I think it's got to be between Jenny Playmate, who I think is cheaper than all the other options at 400 per show. But she does work for Canadian Gone Combat, so... I guess Haley Buck. What a tough decision to make. I do feel like we need someone, though. Yeah, I think Jenny Playmate might be the option. Just that little bit cheaper. And like I said, she can actually do commentary, color commentary as well. But if we put her in angles with KYLER Adams for each and every angle that he's in, I feel like that might actually speed up the entertainment skills progression. I feel like it's a fairly easy way to do that as well. Not going to break the bank, $3.90 per appearance. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see. What I am going to do is we're going to have a title match, the main event for this show. Avalanche Decano taking on KYLER Adams. Obviously, KYLER Adams is going to get the victory. Put the title on the line. And apparently Takano's unhappy. Really don't like that when that happens. I'm assuming it's because of his toughness. Interesting. I guess we'll... Got a repetition warning here as well. Alright. We're going to scrap that idea. We're going to have them versus each other in a tag match. However, we'll have Austin Smooth team up with Avalanche Decano to take on KYLER Adams and Samael the Accuser. Now, that's a pretty good title tag team match. And I think I'm going to leave it blank. I'm curious. Again, one of those situations where they're all pretty much top guys. Obviously, I don't really want KYLER to be taking the pinfall, as he's the champion. And he's already sort of done that a little bit recently, but it's going to be interesting. Anyway, so Austin Smooth can take on Avalanche Decano for our other matches. We'll leave that one blank as well. Again, I'm not really too fussed with who the winners are. And the other match will be Samael taking on KYLER Adams once again. They have versed each other only the one time. Really? Okay. And it wasn't actually a very good match, so this will be pretty telling as to what might happen in the future. Yeah, we'll continue anyway. Non-title match. Do some angles. Avalanche and Austin, and then who was it? Samael and KYLER. With success again, because we got Samael and Avalanche Decano in the same storyline with KYLER, so everyone will get a little bit of a momentum benefit as a result of that. We'll then have Samael, and I think I'm going to leave that not rated for KYLER. Just want to see if that's going to boost up popularity. And then finally, let's have another angle with Decano and Austin Smooth. All right, let's run that show. Got the generic venue. All right, so we start the show off with a 40 D- in the angle between Avalanche Decano and Austin Smooth. Their match also getting a 40 D-. We got Avalanche Decano defeating Austin Smooth in 9:42 by pinfall with a Mountain Decano. We also have Austin improving in performance skills. Good stuff. Wow, we then go to a 52 D+, almost a C- for the Menace angle from Samael. The match doesn't do too great, getting a 35 E+. Possibly it's not ready as a title feud. But we've got KYLER Adams defeating Samael the Accuser in 9:54 by pinfall with a K-trigger. We then go to a 45 D, got the angle for the tag team match. And finally, the main event tag team match getting a 39 D-. Avalanche Decano and Austin Smooth defeated KYLER Adams and Samael the Accuser when Austin Smooth defeated KYLER Adams by submission with a smooth hold. Okay. A clean victory on the champion for Austin Smooth. That's a pretty good show. Overall show rating getting a 30 E+. Again, that's one of our better ratings for our shows. Good stuff. Pretty happy with that. I'm thinking the Menace angle really helped out. Now, one thing I need to show you is something I didn't really realize until, I think, 2 episodes ago. But when Bob Casey came in, he basically completely changed my product that I had preset before the game started. Now, there are ways to avoid that. What you can basically do when you create your company in the editor before starting the game is you put the highest and lowest level and you make them set so they're the same. So if the minimum is the same as the maximum and that's the level that it is, they can't actually change it when a new owner comes in. Probably should have done that. Obviously, doesn't exactly follow realism, as an owner would come in and obviously want to do what they want to do with the company they've just bought. But as you can see, he's changed everything. As a result of that, our company was performance over popularity. However, now it's popularity over performance. So a little bit annoying. Also means that gimmicks don't have any effect, which is another very annoying thing. Because we have Seth Whitehead, who has a legendary gimmick, which would basically give us a better performing match and angles, different things like that. Also prevents us from getting afternoon and early evening time slots, and also makes sponsorship a little bit tougher to get as well. Basically, the product that I had, the performance over popularity, meant that sponsorship was easy to get for our company. So he changed that, completely ruined it, and as a result, all these different things happened. So yeah. Okay. That's good for El Mitico. He's just been picked up by EMLL. Very good for El Mitico. Obviously, I want to bring him in at some stage. Yeah, good for him. I'm happy. I mean, EMLL wouldn't actually be a bad company for us to try and get into. Luis Montero. Unfortunately, we can't do that. But let's have a look at booking status. Potentially hiring. Again, it's still pretty much the same. I mean, we could try for Warrior Engine. But obviously, at the moment, Japan, hit by the tsunami. We can't go to Canadian Gold in Combat, or we can't even apply for them. I suppose we could go for European Wrestling All-Stars, but I don't really want to go to Europe, if that makes sense. So yeah, again, we're just going to have to wait, see if anything pops up, any new companies are created and brought into the game. That could be a possibility. I guess for the moment, we'll just keep developing KYLER. Keep, pushing on with this company as well. I think at some stage we're probably going to have to move to a different company. I mean, we can try and grind out our way to cult. I don't know how long that's going to take. Anyway, let's advance. Hopefully, I mean, is Jenny Playmate here? Did we actually sign her or not? I'm confused. Anyway, let's book this show. Now, Austin Smooth. Actually, before we do that, we can't. Never mind. I need to make the event, the big event for this month. Right, let's have a number one contenders match. Austin Smooth versus Felipe Caballero. Hopefully there's no repetition penalty here. I'm going to leave it blank as well. This is number one contenders to see who will face KYLER at the big event. The other match, we'll just do a bit of a throwaway match. Canadian Crusher. Taking on KYLER. I think we'll do another singles match here as well. KYLER to get the victory. There's that. And then one more match, we'll have Cobra taking on Gideon Kato. And I think we'll leave that one blank as well. Actually, as a result of that, let's have a 6-man tag to start the show off. All right, let's have Cobra, Austin, and KYLER taking on Felipe, Canadian Crusher, and who was the other? Gideon. The winner can be... Let's give it to Cobra. And he can pin Gideon. Alright. Add some angles. We'll have Felipe and Austin. Of course, that is the main event. Then we'll have 6-man promo. So it is... Who is it? Completely forgotten. So Felipe, Canadian, Gideon. And then KYLER, Austin Smooth, and I've completely forgotten again. Cobra. Alright, there we go. One other thing we need to do is make sure everybody is an upper mid-carder because we're going to get penalties otherwise. So Gideon and Canadian Crusher. Alright, I think that's good. Run the show. Starting off with a 37 D-, the big 6-man angle. The match also getting a 37 D-. We've got Austin Smooth, Cobra, and KYLER Adams defeating Felipe, Canadian Crusher, and Gideon Couture in 9:43 when Cobra defeated Gideon by submission with a Viper Vice. Couple of work improvements here. We've got Felipe Caballero improving in technical skills, and then KYLER Adams improving in performance skills. We then go to a 28E. We've got KYLER Adams defeating Canadian Crusher in 9:56 by pinfall with a K trigger. And Crusher was really off his game, only getting a 20 in-ring performance. Then go to a 33E+. We've got Cobra defeating Gideon Couture in 10:14 by submission with a Viper Vice. And the angle for the main event, getting a 37 D- between Austin and Felipe. We've also got Felipe learning to show more charisma. It's great. And the main event gets a 42 D. Felipe Caballero defeating Austin Smooth in 14:40 by submission, by pinfall with a Caballero drop. A 42 D. And we also have Austin Smooth improving in performance skills. This is a really good show. I mean, it didn't score that well. Overall rating getting a 28E. But I think that was probably one of our best shows we've ever run, to be honest. Probably not the best, but I enjoyed it anyway. Alright, so Austin needs a break. We've finally got Jenny Playmate coming in, which is great because we can now debut her as the manager for KYLER Adams. Perfect. All right. All right, so franchise players, KYLER Adams, Logan Wolfsbane, Samael the Accuser. We do have some talented members to our roster. Really good to see KYLER in there as one of the ring generals. Number 5, but still, you know, it's pretty good. It's come a long way. And Bob Casey's still not on time decline, so that's good. Alright, we need to do the event for this month, and it's going to be called, if I grab my notes here, Hunting for Glory. Probably a bit of a generic name, but I like it. And of course, the title's going to be on the line. There we go, Hunting for Glory. I'm actually out of event names, so I'm going to need to think about a few of them. Anyway, let's advance. Get through some more shows here. We are only into week 3, and we're already, what, 42 minutes into the episode? A little bit scary. I don't want the episode to go too much longer than an hour. I think the last episode 7 was an hour and 15 minutes. Kind of want to keep it under that. Apparently, FCW are going after John Greed. I mean, he was definitely someone that I would like to get in. So expensive, but, I mean, you look at his popularity. I mean, he's the type of guy that could come in and be champion for a year, basically, in a company our size. Probably wouldn't even negotiate with us, to be fair. Not until regional. Have a look at the popularity. We're still at 20 popularity, but we're up to 20 importance now as well. So we're edging closer and closer, which is great. It is really, really good. But like I said at the start of the episode, I'm just really, really nervous about this economy. And of course, the wrestling industry is dropping now as well. Possibly just making things a little bit harder. Ooh, north of the border. Yeah, it's a written contract. Unlucky. Or FCW. And I guess GSW as well. Alright, let's advance, get into this next show. My rib not doing anything. I mean, the attendances are still going up, which is great to see. But at the same time, you just wish it would... Well, you think it would be higher if the economy was better. Anyway, for this show, we'll go with Christopher Ball. And who have we used? Marcel. Yeah, we'll go Marcel. Marcel to get the victory. And then in the other match, we'll have... Actually, we can do... Let's do another couple of matches. We'll have Bob Casey taking on KYLER Adams once again. These two have had a very storied rivalry. Okay, we definitely won't make him the road agent. We'll go with Samael. Samael can have a match as well. As per usual, Bob Casey blocking a loss. Gotta love it. That's perfectly fine. Let's have the main event be Samael taking on Seth Whitehead. We've done this match twice. Hasn't done too well. But I'm happy to do it again. Actually, I think a good match would be Samael versus Avalanche. Avalanche Decano. Anyway, we'll do this match. Ugh, Seth's unhappy. It's so frustrating. And then finally we'll have the 3-on-3 match with all members. There we go. And we're not going to have a road agent, so we're going to have to use someone else anyway. I guess we'll go with Felipe. Actually, let's go with Gideon. I think he's a little bit cheaper. The winner of the match can be Samael, and he can pin Christopher Ball. Pretty simple, yet effective. Let's do our angles. Samael and Seth just have Menace rated. And then KYLER Adams can be with Jenny Playmate. Perfect. Let me change Christopher Ball to an upper mid-carder. And then we'll add the angle here, the 6-man. So we'll go with Seth, Marcel, and Christopher Ball. And they are taking on Samael, Bob Casey, and KYLER Adams with Jenny Playmate. Samael for Menace, Bob Casey for nothing. There we go. Perfect. That's a good way to open the show, I think. Alright, I'm happy with that. I think this show might actually do quite well. Was that a generic venue? Yes, it is. Okay. Alright, so we kick things off with a 41D. Oh my god. Jenny Playmate debuts her Diva gimmick, getting an initial rating of Legendary. So, if we were rated on, or if gimmicks mattered in our product, she would do really well, and should do big things, probably for KYLER. But there we go. KYLER Adams is developing better performance skills. And that's, of course, for his entertainment stats. So, definitely already benefiting. Hopefully some of these other guys can benefit being in angles with Jenny Playmate and KYLER. So, I think all round it's going to be good for everyone, but most importantly, KYLER. The match gets a 34E+. We got Samael, KYLER, and Bob Casey defeating Seth Whitehead, Marcel Lafleur, and Christopher Ball in 940, when Samael defeated Christopher Ball, by pinfall with a Poison of God. And then the vocal crowd not happy at seeing Christopher Ball wrestle. And yeah, KYLER was also off his game. Still got a 32 in-ring though, so he's doing well. We also have both Samael and Christopher improving in technical skills. We then go into a 26E. Again, Marcel defeating Christopher Ball in 10:05 by submission with a Parisian chicken wing. And the crowd still not thrilled seeing Christopher Ball wrestle. However, we have Marcel improving in performance skills. We then go into a 36D- angle here from KYLER and Jenny. Goes into the match against Bob Casey, getting a 30E+. We got KYLER defeating Bob Casey in 9:33 by pinfall with a K trigger. Again, Adams off his game. Kind of strange. Moving into a 50D+ menace angle from Samael the Accuser. And the main event gets a 38D-, pretty respectable. We've got Samael the Accuser defeating Seth Whitehead in 13:58 by pinfall with a Poison of God. Nice. Overall show rating getting a 28E. I think that was the same as last show. So still doing relatively well. And don't forget, these show ratings would actually be a lot better. Probably D-. Also, probably not. Probably E+, but yeah, we're still being penalized, again, because of our production values. And like I said, it's probably not going to change unless either we stop gaining popularity from our show ratings, as they're the same sort of level as the popularity we're currently on. If that happens, then I think we'll upgrade. But yeah, also, if we, if the finances are looking really good, we will also upgrade. So I'm not against upgrading. I just think there's a right time and place. And, it's only been a couple of episodes since we actually got out of debt. So I think it works out relatively well. Interesting. Advance into another show. Try and get a successful rib on someone. They're just not working. They are just not working. Popularity still at 20E-. Was hoping that might go up one more point before the end of the episode. Alright, I think this might be our last episode, last show of the episode. So strap yourselves in. Of course, the big event will be in the next episode. But let's have Logan take on Cobra. I don't even think we've never done this match before. Let's make this the main event. Give it 14 minutes. Logan to get the victory because he's pretty incredible. Alright, so that's our main event. We then need a match for KYLER. Kind of want to put him with Kid Fantastic. Really want the flashiness to rub off. But at the same time, I kind of want Ralph Liotta's stamina to rub off as well. Anyway, let's do Kid Fantastic. They've only versed each other once. Alright, so KYLER to get the victory. Obviously. And then the final match we'll do Avalanche Decano taking on Ralph Liotta. 10 minutes, obviously. And then Avalanche to get the victory there as well. Now what I do want to do, let's go into this match. Now I want to put Jenny Playmate as the color commentator. I want to see if that helps out the rating at all. That's an interesting one. Alright, so Takano, Kid Fantastic, and KYLER Adams take on Logan Wolfsbane, Cobra. Actually, let's go with Cobra up there, and then Kid Fantastic and Ralph Liotta down there. And the victory can go to Cobra, and he can pin Ralph Liotta. Alright, good match. Let's do our angles. Of course, Logan. I mean, I want to try and focus on his entertainment stats, but he does have relatively good menace, which is interesting. Alright, so there's the angle with KYLER and Jenny. And then let's do the 6-man angle. Avalanche Takano, Cobra, KYLER Adams, Jenny Playmate, Logan Wolfsbane, Kid Fantastic, and Ralph Liotta. And we'll put everyone on entertainment, so hopefully they get some buffs. Alright, there we go. Let's run the show. Final show of the episode. Starting off with a 37D- for the 6-man angle with Jenny on KYLER Adams' arm. The match gets a 34E+. We got Takano, Cobra, and KYLER Adams defeating Logan Wolfsbane, Kid Fantastic, and Ralph Liotta in 10:24, when Cobra defeated Ralph Liotta by submission with a Viper Vice. We also had Kid Fantastic off his game. However, we have some worker improvements here. Cobra in technical skills, and Kid Fantastic in technical as well. We then go to a 35E+. We got Avalanche Takano defeating Ralph Liotta in 9:51 by pinfall with a Mountain Takano. We then go to a 45D for the angle between KYLER and Jenny Playmate. Good stuff. That's a pretty high angle. And we go into a 30E+ for KYLER Adams defeating Kid Fantastic in 10:10 by pinfall with a K trigger. Again, Kid Fantastic off his game. And finally, we go into the angle for the main event, getting a 36D-. And the main event itself, pretty bad, 35E+. Can't get the D- performance there. But we do have Logan Wolfsbane defeating Cobra in 14:11 by submission with a Boston Crab. Overall show rating getting a 26E. And as you can see, that didn't increase our popularity, which is very, very interesting. Alright, so now we got some problems, if that's going to be the case. Some big, big problems. I think we have to get Aldous in at some stage. 900 per show, though. Yeah. We're really going to have to look at some things for next episode. I think some of these are going to have to be upgraded. We'll have to look and see exactly how far ahead RIPW are. They're at medium. in-house. I mean, they're so much further ahead than anyone else. I mean, we can get up to a decent level for music, and I think it was, yeah, live event experience. We can get to the same level as GSW. But I think that's gonna... We're still gonna be getting penalized. Interesting. Anyways, I'm going to end the episode here, guys. Make sure you smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I hope you guys enjoy the end of screen stats.